VGK rallies from 2 goals down 4 times last night, capping it off with a Jack Eichel walk-off goal in overtime. VGK wins in an epic come-from-behind battle at the Fortress 6-5 over Toronto. Our reacts next, coming up ahead on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights.
You're Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hi again, everyone. Tony Dasco and Chris Gawlik from Las Vegas. Welcome to Locked On Golden Knights. We are part of the Locked On Podcast Network, now the #1 sports podcast network on the planet. I'm a longtime sportscaster, marketing consultant, and the host of the Saturday Sports Beat on Odyssey. Chris is the owner of Silver State Cards and Sports and the host of the Hockey News Collectibles Show. Coming up ahead on today's show, a game for the ages last night. VGK rallies at home against the Maple Leafs. The Predators are on deck. They roll into town now just a point out of a wild card spot. And our WTF segment today with all of your terrific comments. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app today. Create an account. Use the promo code LOCKEDONNHL, and you'll get $20 off of your first purchase. And don't forget to catch us each and every day on the Silver State Sports and Entertainment Network. Tune in at 1 o'clock Monday through Friday. SSSEN is the place to be. It's on YouTube TV on Cox Cable Channel 77. The best way to put last night's game and the comeback for VGK was the Golden Knights were resilient. They kept battling. They never lost their poise despite an up and down wild game when they were trailing 2-0, 3-1, 4-2, and 5-3 in the game. That's what made this so exciting. And the Golden Knights showed patience down the stretch. It came down to the wire in regulation. VGK sends in the extra skater. Aiden Hill comes out of the game, comes off the ice. The Golden Knights weren't shooting. There were no lanes open. Good defense, but again, very patient. Jack Eichel works around the left side. There's no passing lanes. Mark Stone below the goal line. Nothing doing there. Marner up top. No open shot at the point. Then Eichel finds a seam. He finds Tomas Hertl. He was in the slot, and he finishes it off there. And then with 7 seconds remaining, ties the game with his 19th goal of the season. And then again, Jackie pockets, man. Jack Eichel scoring the game-winning goal on a feed from Stone. 2:44 remaining in overtime, giving VGK its 6th consecutive win. By far, the game of the year. And we're just a couple of weeks in, but it was the game of the year. And where was Auston Matthews on the game-winning goal, Chris?
Auston Matthews is still on the ice and hasn't changed out of his jersey.
I think he was in Henderson somewhere.
No, that's a good reference. I put the goal visualizer up on my Twitter feed last night, and Auston Matthews, he is just on the world's longest jet ski, just behind Eichel by what felt like, I don't know if we're going to use a horse racing reference, about 18 lengths or something.
18 lengths.
Like that. I mean, it was bad, and this is one of the biggest differences between Auston Matthews and Jack Eichel, and why Jack Eichel looks to be center number 1 coming up for the Olympics. So, yeah, I mean, I was talking to Chris on the way home last night. We're just trying to think of a more exciting regular season game that we've either experienced in that building or that there's been in general. And I think going back to season 1, actually wasn't that, I was bowling the night it happened, but it was when Shea Theodore scored against the Leafs, or not the Leafs, I'm sorry,
Tampa.
the Lightning.
The Lightning. So that game,
season 1, right? We're talking the same
season
game?
1.
Yeah.
I had the tickets, me and one of my buddies from Findlay, from our good friends at Findlay. And they said, hey, do you want to go to the game tonight? Absolutely. And they're right behind the net. And from the left side, we see Shea Theodore, and his stick is back here. We all stand up like we knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
And every single thing just froze at that point, and he puts it in net. And that was, to me, the most exciting game, or maybe number 2 compared to last night. But I was in the building for both of those games. What are the chances there?
Right. I mean, I was joking on the way home as well. Of all the things that I could have scripted going crazy in this game to make it just a memorable game, The only thing that we missed was a Marner, Auston Matthews scrap, Donnybrook. That's about the
Well,
only thing that didn't happen on the bingo cards. So
but
ton of
Marner
fun.
Marner tried to incite him maybe
There
early
was
on,
there was a couple
in the
rough moments.
pregame.
You did see
Oh
a
no,
few
in the
runs at
pregame.
Marner.
The pregame, he shot the puck at him.
He shot the puck at him, and then Marner shut it, or Matthews ignored the question in the
Oh,
pregame, basically saying he's tired of questions about Mitch or something like
he
that,
was
which was kind of
spicy.
fun. And
Yep.
I mean, you're a Leafs fan. What do you do? I mean, and credit to Leafs fans. You guys traveled really well last night. You were very,
It's
very
great.
loud. It was probably the first time in the history of this team one of the home players was booed, and you heard it.
Oh, every single time he touched the puck there, especially like
And
second,
yeah,
third
next
period.
week when they go to Toronto, oh my God.
It's going to be fun. So Marner in his first meeting against his former team, and he will get booed throughout the game, the entirety next week up in Canada.
He's gonna get booed when the plane lands.
Marner wound up with a couple of assists on the night. He was on different lines because Cassidy kept jumbling things up. We noticed he was on a line with Stone and Barbashev. He was out there with Smith and Dorofeev as Bruce Cassidy jumbled up the lines. And Marner again, couple of assists in the game last night. And I don't know what else to say about. Oh, he's having a really down year. That was a narrative in the Canadian press. Down year. What?
You got I quote tweeted someone a second ago talking about all of Marner's measurables are a little bit down right now as far as his year-over-year stats. And reminder that Jack Eichel saw a little bit of a drop-off on his personal stats when he came to Vegas his
He'll get
first
to
full
100.
season in 22-23. And how did that finish out? So it's a different circumstance. Sure, he doesn't have Auston Matthews to finish, who's a fantastic finisher. He also doesn't have to cover for Auston Matthews, who is a terrible defending forward. So
He was
that
still
goes both ways. Couple of random notes, I guess. Aiden Hill, I would say meh. To
we
his
saw.
credit,
I
he got
said he
better
would
throughout the
stink.
game.
I said yesterday officially that he would stink in the game. So I think
I would put maybe a step above stink because they're, it's. I mean,
yeah,
you got
one
to
good
give him
save.
some rope, right? First game back since October, so you don't like to see those first couple of shots go in. I mean, yeah, there's terrible defending on the first one. Second one, it's a good play, good forehand, backhand, but one you'd like him to make a better attempt at. And Gary Lawless, he was a little too happy about Aiden
Was he
Hill
spitting
last
on the
night,
microphone
saying,
again? Was
a
he
little
spitting?
bit, but it was
Yeah.
just like Dan Duva portrayed it very well. Maybe there's a couple goals he'd like back, but he had some great moments. And Gary Lawless thought he had a Patrick Wow like showing last night.
State run.
Yeah, no, Duva was really good, but Lawless, he was a little too happy about Hill's performance.
Yeah. Jack Eichel, again, the top player on the ice for VGK. 4-point night last night, a goal and 3 assists. He just has this different swagger about him this season and a confidence level that is crazy, right? 7 points in the back-to-back. 7 points in the back-to-back in 2 games.
In a game, we wonder if he was even going to play last night.
Well, you
There was
were
question
wondering
he was going
that.
to play last night.
Well, so what had happened was on the game-winning assist in Los Angeles, he goes careening into the boards.
He got dumped.
Okay, but in any event, like they cut away real fast, so no one could really tell if he was injured or not. I was watching.
He got
the
up.
end of
He
the
was
game.
pretty happy in the celebration, but that's adrenaline at that moment, so that's why there was plenty of speculation. And Colton Sissons was the one that no one speculated about. It was okay. Are they finally done with Holtz because he's what's the word I'm looking for? Terrible. Was Eichel hurt? Was there something else? Like no one was even talking about Sissons, and now again another one of this team's natural centers. Looks like it's a day-to-day, so hopefully it's not a big issue. But the Golden Knights played the day before, so that day-to-day designation the day after when they don't have a pregame skate is absolutely meaningless. Let's see what happens. I don't know if I doubt they're gonna skate today, but I'm sure they'll be on the ice tomorrow. I'll get a better update tomorrow.
Yeah, and one of the saviors for VGK we talked about, Tanner Lazinski, was brought up. Both him and William Karlsson, the two.
I'm gonna do an early WTF, Tony. All right, in a game
I've got one too, but go ahead.
In a game with you, might have the same one then. In so many storylines, so many things happened. Eichel, Hill, Marner, Dorofeev, all these players had such a major impact on the game. Who does the radio roll out for the post-game interview? Tanner friggin' Lazinski.
I can't.
How? He had 7 minutes of irrelevant ice time. and we're going to talk about Tanner Lazinski. That's the best you could do.
I know
that was garbage.
And then Hertl was on the TV side even, and I'm like, why not Eichel or why not Marner?
Well,
VGK comes out.
It's a step above Tanner Lazinski. We got Alex Holtz and Keaton Kolesar next time.
So the Golden Knights come out flat. Toronto's buzzing, and William Nylander scores a goal 5 minutes into the contest, puts the Leafs up 2-0. He's doing his celly. He landed wrong, re-injures himself there on the celly.
Is how he got hurt? I didn't know that.
His left leg just went lame, and he goes off the ice, and we never see him again. And then, of course, one final note here. Pavel Dorofeev thought he had the hat trick, but the goal was taken off the board in the
I almost threw the bobblehead.
Third period. Hang on to your chapeau, fans, like they're throwing their hats, and the goals waved off. There were so few hats. They had to wave off.
Your tweet was funny. You were so happy.
They had to wave off the goal.
There wasn't enough hats to make the requirement of a hat trick. That's why I got waved off. There's like 6 hats on the ice.
I know. It was, yeah. VGK plays its third game in 4 days Saturday as the Nashville Predators return to the Fortress, having beaten VGK to close out 2025 on New Year's Eve. Our preview comes your way next, right here on Locked On Golden Knights. There's nothing like being near the ice during hockey season, and Chris and little Chris were there last night. The speed, the hits, the atmosphere, it's unmatched. Watching at home is great, but being in the building like we were last night, completely an unbelievable experience. The only thing that used to get in the way of actually getting tickets were long queues, endless screens, and then prices changing at checkout. How many times has that happened to you? That's why the Game Time app gives you the advantage. It gives the advantage back to the fans. It's the hack for unlocking amazing NHL tickets and experiences in just a few taps. I pulled up the Game Time app to check out last night's game, for instance. Surprised how fast it was to find great seats. I actually bought my tickets on Game Time for last night's game as soon as the Marner deal was official. So one of my favorite features is seeing the view from my seat because you can look at it before you buy, so you know exactly what you're getting. Zone deals are clutch. You choose the section. Game Time picks the seats. You save even more. So take the guesswork out of buying NHL tickets today with Game Time, especially for your hometown Golden Knights. Download the Game Time app, create the account, use the promo code LOCKEDONNHL, and that is Locked On NHL, LOCKON NHL, for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, use the redeem code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Welcome back on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights. Tony Cardasco, Chris Gawlik reporting from Las Vegas. I have one more quick WTF. So there is still some time left in regulation. Why did all the fans leave? Like half of the fans, I think, were in the stands by the time VGK ties it up with 7 seconds to go.
Not that I'm going to defend it by any means, but that's how it is every game, all the time. You know, it was a great crowd beginning to near end, but every VGK game, it's just kind of how it is. Fair foul or otherwise.
The end? Wow.
That's, I mean, listen, me and Chris, we were sitting down with Adam. Thank you so much for that hookup last night. That was a lot of fun. My ears are freaking ringing, but otherwise it was amazing.
My ears are ringing, and I was
with 3 minutes left, we got up. We have a spot in one of the corners where we actually go and watch the ends of the game so we can get right out of there. We were starting that walk, and then we stopped in front of the TV. We saw the Hertl goal. So we found our spot, and then we saw the Eichel goal. We were out of T-Mobile before the team was off the ice. That's how fast we get out of there. So I get it. You don't want to get stuck there, and people got stuff to do the next day. And Shea Theodore's wife, who cares?
Trading away Steven Stamkos, Ryan O'Reilly, and even former Golden Knight Jonathan Marchessault could all be on hold as the once cellar-dwelling Nashville Predators come into town, and they are just 1 point out of a wild card spot in the standings. This is a team that perhaps started the season in rebuilding mode. It's a team that was mad perhaps because management wouldn't let them see the Backstreet Boys at the Sphere when they came into town. Maybe that's what started this all. And the Predators come off of a big win as they defeated the Oilers this past week in overtime. It actually this saga begins on American Thanksgiving. Since that time, The Predators are 16-8, Chris. Of course, Nashville comes in on the tail end of a back-to-back. They play in Colorado tonight.
This is not a team that came in rebuilding. You don't make those roster moves that were made to start the 24-25 season with going into rebuild mode the next year. All right. 24-25 for the Preds was a blanked year that rhymes with the word hockey puck. All right. That happens. Whatever.
Schmuck.
Exactly. Ryan O'Reilly, Philip Forsberg, Eric Hollis, Stamkos, Marchessault injured, unfortunately, but Marchessault, that's a nice forward group to build around. You got Mike Bunting in there, and then you got some youngsters, Svechkov, Matthew Wood, Reed Schaefer, Mike McCarron doing their thing. And then on the defense, I mean, you got Roman Josi and Brady Shea. You got Soros as a goalie. This is not a bad team on paper.
Right.
On paper doesn't always translate to success. We know this, but this is not a bad team that is finally maybe starting to figure out, or Golden Knight fans will appreciate this. Maybe Marchessault was the problem all around. Maybe now that he's hurt, the team's got it all figured out. So blame Marchessault. There you go, Golden Knight fans.
The first meeting is the one that VGK blew that 2-0 lead. The Predators scored the next 4 goals. Jack Eichel and Shea Theodore were out of the lineup, and that should make a difference with their return on Saturday night. Of
Eichel
course.
and Theodore should make a difference. There's a hot take by Tony Cordasco. That's why he's got his.
I think they will make.
Why he's got his job security on lockdown. VGK will never replace him with takes like that. I mean, listen, I'll say it again. Different circumstance. Golden Knights should have beat that Preds team without those two and Aiden Hill and whoever else and William Karlsson. That's, at that time, just the Golden Knights are a better team. So, yeah, I mean, you'd like to see the Golden Knights just have a nice, boring game, but this is also tough. Like you said in one of your monologues earlier, 4 games, 3 nights, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the Golden Knights have had a stellar week. And this is where I'll agree with Gary Lawless on the post game show, wrapping it up yesterday. He said the team can't go into this game complacent. You have to go in just as hungry. You can't sit on the fact that, hey, it's been a good week. If we drop this one, okay. That definitely cannot be the mindset, as these points are very precious right now. And the Preds are a middling team. They're not up in the standings, not down in the standings, but, find a way to get these points, create some separation. And who knows, maybe we're going to be talking about a Preds Golden Knights first round playoff matchup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and for VGK now, they've won 6 in a row, and Mark Stone has scored in 18 consecutive games. I think a goal. He's had a goal. Oh, that's a TNT.
If you call TNT, absolutely. Yeah, he's got a goal every season. He's got the Cal Ripken streak
every game this season. Yeah. Akira Schmid should have the net on Saturday night, stopping 15 of 19 the last meeting. Again, he's been the most consistent goaltender. Who would have thunk it, right? I mean, Akira doing a good job in net. Yeah, okay.
I won't lock in on Schmid starting on Saturday. I think it's going to be Hill.
You think they're going to go back to Hill?
They're going to go back to Hill almost 100%.
Okay, yeah, that one really good save where he goes across the crease.
The reverse scorpion, they're calling it. The reverse scorpion. I like it.
Okay.
I like it.
Now, did he
not
get
a lot of other good ones, but the reverse scorpion was
did he
fun.
get a piece of the puck with his skate or with
I think it was
his
the back
mitt?
of his skate. I think he saved it with his Achilles, with his ACL.
Oh, geez. That would have been
questionable. Tweak to tweak.
One of the areas VGK has to clean up. We saw way too many turnovers against the Maple Leafs. They have to clean up that part of their game because, I mean, as good as we think that they are right now, that area could kill them.
I mean, the Leafs can punch back harder than a lot of teams in the NHL when it comes to creating scoring chances and such. And the Golden Knights were fortunate last night. It was fun, but they were fortunate to come out ahead. But again, sometimes there's a type of, it's the Mike Tyson theory. You got to plan until you get punched in the mouth. Well, Golden Knights got punched a few times through the plan out, found a path of 2 points. Hey, take it.
Yeah, that was the big save. Bobby McMahon, right? That was the save on him last night. And that was pretty big for
Hill
the
had
Golden
a good third. You got to give him credit. Hill had a good third period as well in that game.
He did come on, and there was some rust. And, it's kind of tough, though. He's just coming back right off of he missed, 3 months of action?
Yeah, a lot of people are saying he should have had a Henderson run, which I don't think would have been a bad idea. But, hey,
Okay.
he's undefeated on the year. He still hasn't lost in regulation this season.
Coming up next, it is a nice little entree into the next segment.
Like that.
Ahead, it's WTF What the Friday. With your takes, stay with us right here on Locked On Golden Knights. FanDuel is officially in playoff mode every game during the NFL playoffs. FanDuel is giving customers more ways to get into the action. And right now, every NFL playoff game day, FanDuel users get a profit boost pack. It's waiting for them inside of the app. Each game day, you'll see a pack loaded with multiple profit boosts that you can apply to the bets that you like the most. It's not ones that you have to take there that you don't like, the El Stinko games. So the boosts let you lean into your game day instincts, whether you're backing momentum, defense, quarterback play, or coaching, whatever it might be. The boosts give you more juice on the bets that you already like instead of forcing you to bet on something new. So you make your picks and apply them to the profit boost, and you go after an even bigger payout while the playoffs are rolling. So visit FanDuel today, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. Grab your profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. If you've ever hired someone who looked good on paper but wasn't the right fit, you know how important that is. When you want candidates who truly match what you're looking for, trust Indeed sponsored jobs. Hiring Indeed is all you need. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other sites. Indeed sponsored jobs post. It puts you at the top of the page. It helps you to reach the right candidates faster. If we needed to hire someone for this show, perhaps it could be the intern, the producer, whoever was hitting the wrong graphic at the wrong time. You go straight to Indeed, and you could be very specific about what you need, real experience, not just resume buzzwords, which absolutely drive me crazy. Spend more time interviewing candidates who check all the boxes with less stress, less time, and even more results using Indeed sponsored jobs. And listeners of this show, Locked On Golden Knights, you get a $75 sponsored job credit, and it helps to give you the job that you have premium placement for. Again, it deserves exactly all that attention on Indeed.com/locked on. Hiring, do it the right way with Indeed. Welcome back, and thanks for tuning in to today's show on Locked On Golden Knights. Make sure that you subscribe and follow us to get all the latest episodes. If you haven't already, please check out all the new Everydayer Club stuff. Access to an ad-free audio feed, invitation to the members-only Discord. I'm actually on Discord now, so I signed up yesterday. And a members-only Locked On merch store. I don't know how to use it quite yet, but go to lockedonpodcast.com/everydayer. It's time for WTF, What the Friday, where we use a combination of both of our, all of our comments here. So first WTF, phenomenal. Thank you to all those fans on the meetup last night in Section 20. That was absolutely fantastic. So I brought the heat with me, my good friend, former Metro Police homicide detective, and I asked him if he was packing. I didn't know what to expect there. So I brought the heat with me. But to be serious here, it was very nice to meet all of you. So much fun. And we really do appreciate all of the support that we get.
Yeah, real fast, show. I'll jump in, then you can go back. But it was awesome. Yeah, fine. I appreciate people talking to me, but who cares about me? Everyone was so cool with little Chris last night. Everyone approached him right away, showed him respect, handshakes. Like, you didn't treat him like a child. Yes, he's a kid, but it was just that respect that you showed him that was extremely it wasn't patronizing. It wasn't, loaded or anything. It was just
he's part of the
very
fam.
nice. Yeah, it was a very nice, genuine moment. I think Chris wants to record tomorrow morning, so maybe the Saturday show comes back tomorrow.
That's terrific. So thank you again. We really do appreciate it. It was really a lot of fun and just getting some feedback because I live in my little capsule and I don't really see a ton of fans. Capsule, you like that? WTF, the funniest story to come out of Toronto media this week was the quote about most of the Las Vegas media is employed by the Vegas Golden Knights. I just can't. It is absolutely facts. It is so true. And I was just dying about that. Again, WTF, the story on TNT earlier this week, I don't know if you caught it or not, about Eichel and Hannafin playing in a scramble in the Cape over the summer, Cape Cod, over the summer with Bruce Cassidy.
Oh, God, yep.
Where he marks the golf ball on the course with his 4 Nations gold medal. That is absolutely savage. We love it. WTF. That's awesome. Isn't that a great story?
Cassidy from the top rope. All right, I got a few here. I'll go fast.
We've got some. Yeah, we've got a bunch.
Yeah, so real fast here. I was once told I was dragged. I posted a picture of the owner's box and McPhee and McCrimmon and Foley when Marchessault had his welcome back tribute video a few seasons ago. No reaction from the made men and the owner. Everyone, they never clap for anybody. They never acknowledge players in their welcome back video. Okay, well, let's prove that theory. George McPhee was flying solo, which is interesting, but McPhee was flying solo in the owner's box. Nicholas Waugh gets his video. Here's McPhee. Clapping it up. I got the video. It's on my it's on my Twitter. So, number one. So, again, I don't care how Marchessault left this town. I don't care what the circumstances were, but what he did in the 8 years prior, 7 year, whatever the math was, like, how do you not even clap for him? But you give Nick Waugh, hey, Nick Waugh, woohoo. Like, okay, come on, fourth line center, Nick Waugh, you're the man. Marchessault, Conn Smythe, and day one misfit. Yeah, F off. No, that's not cool right there. So, McPhee, there you go. That's number one. We talked about the awesome night. I got Eichel on my bingo card. Everyone's making a big deal about the Olympic Stadium. The Olympic Stadium is going to be fine. Chill out, everybody. And Aiden Hill, someone's going to take your number. You're going to get run when you go to Toronto next week if you are in net. You do not set that pick in that circumstance in that game. The goaltenders have this unwritten rule. They have this invisible barrier around them. So when you throw a check like you did last night, you should have got called for interference. Someone's going to take your number. You deserve to be ran for setting that pick last night in the final moments of that game.
Okay. Some other ones here. Gary Adrian, I guess Dora will get some practice this week on how to drag his back foot. WTF, E-runs. VGK scored 16 goals the last 3 games, and Boulder Highway Holtz didn't have a stinking point in any of them. WTF, Jarius Gold. Cassidy has gone 6-0 since your emergency episode. Thank you for your service. WTF from Night 00 Golden One. Somebody said something about last night being an automatic dub was that a scheduled win last night?
There was a random scheduled loss comment from a Toronto Maple Leafs fan, by the way, on Twitter this morning. I swear to God.
There was?
Yes, I swear to God. I was going to screenshot it. I got busy.
WTF, my WTF comment is when Vegas finally should lose trust in Aiden Hill. He's healthy, still letting in 4 to 5 goals per game. We do appreciate everyone tuning in. Thank you so much for making Locked On Golden Knights your first listen of the day. Thank you for making Locked On the number one sports podcast network. And please subscribe to our Everydayer Club. Tony Cardasco, Chris Gawlik. See you Monday right back here.